The call came at 6:17 a.m., slicing through the quiet like a blade. Daniel Harper stared at his phone, blinking the sleep from his eyes, heart already racing. Unknown number. No one ever called him that early unless something was wrong. He hesitated, then answered. Hello. There was a pause. A soft inhale. Then a woman's voice, steady but strained. I'm sorry to bother you so early. My name is Evelyn. I think I may have your number by mistake, but I don't know who else to call. Daniel sat up, his son Liam still asleep on the other side of the couch, wrapped in a superhero blanket that had once belonged to Daniel's wife. He lowered his voice. It's okay. What's going on? Silence again, then a crack in her composure. I'm stuck. And I think I'm in over my head. Something in the way she said it tugged at him. The same quiet panic he'd heard in his own voice 2 years ago, standing in a hospital hallway, being told goodbye wasn't negotiable. Where are you? He asked. Next door, she replied. I moved into the house beside yours. The big one. Daniel frowned, glancing toward the window. The mansion next door had been empty for as long as he'd lived here. White pillars, wide porch, iron gates that never opened. He'd assumed it belonged to some distant millionaire who visited once a year, if ever. I don't know you, she went on, but your number was on a note taped to the breaker box. It said, if power goes out, call Daniel. Daniel let out a small breath. He'd written that a month ago, after a storm knocked out electricity for the whole block. Okay, he said gently. Tell me what's wrong. An hour later, he was standing in her kitchen, holding a flashlight in his left hand and a mug of coffee she'd insisted on making with the last of the hot water. Evelyn sat at the marble island, barefoot, hair pulled into a messy knot, a silk robe wrapped tightly around her like armor. Without the gates in the distance, she didn't look untouchable. She looked tired. Human. The security system locked me inside, she said. I still don't understand how. Everything is automated. Lights. Gates. Alarms. I pressed the wrong thing, I guess. Daniel nodded, crouching near the panel. Technology does that. Makes you feel powerful until it decides you're not. She laughed quietly, then looked at him, really looked at him. His worn hoodie. The faint dark circles under his eyes. The way his phone buzzed twice and he ignored it, focused entirely on helping her. You didn't have to come, she said. I know, he replied. But sometimes people need someone to show up anyway. That was the first crack. Over the next weeks, small moments turned into something larger. Evelyn waved from her porch when Daniel walked Liam to the bus stop. She brought over soup when Liam caught a cold. Daniel fixed a loose gate hinge, patched a leaky faucet, refused every attempt she made to pay him. I don't need the money, he said once, quietly embarrassed. I just like being useful. Evelyn watched him then with new eyes. She'd built companies. Led boardrooms. Fired men twice her age without blinking. Yet this man, with his second-hand furniture and carefully planned grocery lists, unsettled her in a way success never had. One evening, she invited him and Liam over for dinner. The dining table stretched long enough for 10, but they sat close at one end. Liam told jokes. Evelyn laughed too hard. Daniel felt something warm for the first time in years, then immediately felt guilty for it. Later that night, after Liam fell asleep on Evelyn's sofa, she poured 2 glasses of wine and handed one to Daniel. I should tell you something, she said. He stiffened. He'd learned that those words were rarely harmless. I own this house, she continued. Not just this one. Several others. The company that developed half this town, that's mine. Daniel stared at his glass. Okay. That's all you have to say. He met her eyes. Does it change who you are? She didn't answer right away. For the first time since she'd met him, she looked unsure. It changes how people see me. Daniel nodded. Then I guess the question is whether you want to be seen. The challenge came soon after. Rumors started. Whispers at the bus stop. A neighbor joked about Daniel marrying rich. Another asked Evelyn, not subtly, what she saw in a widowed handyman. Daniel pulled back, instinctively. He cancelled dinners. Declined invitations. Told himself he was protecting Liam from disappointment, from a woman who belonged to a world he could never enter. Evelyn noticed. Of course she did. One afternoon, she walked over unannounced and found Daniel in the yard, fixing Liam's old bike. "Are you avoiding me?" she asked. He didn't look up. "I don't fit into your life." She crossed her arms. "You don't get to decide that alone." He finally faced her, frustration spilling over. "I've lost enough. I can't afford to pretend this is something it's not." Her voice softened. "And what do you think it is?" He swallowed. "Temporary." That hurt her more than any insult ever could. The breaking point came when Liam overheard a conversation at school. When he came home quiet, eyes downcast, Daniel knew. The boy admitted through tears that someone said Evelyn would leave, because rich people always do. That night, Daniel sat alone, staring at old photos of his wife, of a life that once felt stable. He realized the fear guiding him wasn't about money. It was about hope. The next morning, he walked next door. Evelyn was packing a bag when he arrived. "I have a board meeting," she said coolly. "I'm not here to stop you," Daniel replied. "I'm here because I've been wrong. I thought loving someone meant preparing for when they leave. But that's not love. That's fear wearing a mask." She looked at him, eyes shining. "And now? Now I want to choose this. Whatever it is. Fully." She set the bag down. Months later, they stood together at a school play, Liam between them, gripping both their hands. The mansion next door still stood tall and grand, but it no longer felt intimidating. It felt like home. Daniel never asked for wealth. Evelyn never offered to change him. What they built instead was something stronger than security systems and iron gates. They built trust. And sometimes, all it takes is answering a call from a stranger to find the life you never knew you deserved.